Okay, let's start a conversation with Unit 3. Where Unit 3 contains of some topics of functions. So let's open ChatGPT and ask some questions as we go through the progress. So it's functions and recursions. So let's ask question: what is a function? What is a function in Python? With or simple code to understand. So this was the prompt I'm given for every question. So a function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task when we call. So in the code we can check that if say hello and print hello. So when the function is called again, hello is printed. So let's run this code and we'll be checking it. So here the hello is printed. So let's try to make a new function. Stickers. Print. Get out. Say hello. Leave. So let's check what happens. See, it's saying hello, get out. So this is how we made a function here and we are calling a function here. So a function is a predefined set of rules or a block of code. Now we are executing it here. So let's go to the second question. Why do we use function? The main question is why do we use a function? So a function we use function to reduce code reusability or repetition and make programs easy to understand. So instead of printing hello hello 3 times, we'll be giving the tasks for a function to do that. So instead of printing print hello 3 to 4 times, we'll be instructing or giving a function and just will be asking it. And here we'll be just calling the function. Let's run this and check what happens. See, it's printing 3 times hello. See, here we made a function in which we commanded the computer like the code to print hello, and now we are calling the function in the third line of fourth line 4 5 6, and we call the function and it's printing hello 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 for the 3 times. So it's so this is the main thing where the function is used. So what problems do functions solve? So functions solve the problem of writing the same code again and again by allowing reusability or reuse code whenever needed. So instead of, so it's again giving us the same answer. So let's go to the second topic of this questioning, like so what are built-in functions? So built-in functions are ready-made functions provided by the Python that we can use directly without creating them ourselves. So it's already predefined thing which Python has on its backend. So it lets us use whenever we call the function. So here it gave us an example of name is equals to a Python and print length, alien's length of the name. So Python is a 6-letter code, so it gave us the output 6. So len is a built-in function. It counts the number of items, here letters in Python. We don't use to write def len because Python has already created it for us. Okay, that means len is called here, but Python has already created this function. So print apple hello, len apple type 10 shows data type, counts length, and this is all built-in functions. Print is also a built-in function which displays output, and len apple is the count length, which is a built-in function. Type 10 means it shows the data type of the thing stored in something. Max means gives the biggest value. Sum means it automatically adds it. So built-in function is like a tool already inside a toolbox. We just need to pick it and use it. Let's ask user-defined. What is user-defined function? User-defined function. So user-defined functions are the functions created by the programmer to perform a specific task. So instead of using pre-built functions, coders tend to make a new function according to their needs. So they make it simple, like it's a simple function to implement. So it is used instead of printing hello user 3 to 4 or 100 times. It's ideal to call the function. So now let's ask it. Let's copy the code. Let's ask. Instead of calling the function 3 to 4 times, can it be done in a single line? So it can happen. So why don't we give say hello? Hello is the function, right? So hello 3 times. Do this work? Or can you optimize the code and make sure the ideal way? Make sure to give us the ideal way. So sometimes it's also encouraged to give the range inside the function. So okay, this is the cleanest way possible. Okay, now the user defined functions are done. What is function call? I already what the function call. So function call is the action of running or executing the function by using its name followed by parentheses. So these brackets are called parentheses. So simple code is like, see, we made a function here, and this is the thing which is required, and display hello is the thing which is required, is the name of the function, and here we are calling the function. If we call the function, then it prints hello here. That's it. What is an anatomy of a function call? So anatomy of function call means the different part that makes a function run, such that function name balances arguments. Okay. Therefore, greet name, print hello, comma name. So greet John. So argument value given to the function is John. So function name function is called, where so I'll just explain what happened. We created a function which we gave a variable, a blank variable here. So when we are calling the function, we fill that variable with a name. So now it's printing hello, and if we call the function, so it will print hello, and the variable stored under name is equals to John, so it prints John here. So hello John is the output. Let's run it and let's check whether we can change it or not. Instead of being with a string, let's be 1 2 3. Okay, I think that works. Oh yeah, it's working. So it doesn't mean what data type is used, int, float, or anything can be used here. How does Python execute a function call? So Python executes a function call by jumping to the function code, running it, and then returning it back when it is called. So okay. So here we created a function and we called a function here. So hello John is printed, and print done means in the next line we will be printing done. So I think the output will be hello John, and the next line will be done. See, hello John is printed and done. So this will be the output. So here how it works. So what are all lists? Yeah, list us all the built-in functions in Python. Bear with me, I may get some spelling mistake because okay, ABS means returns absolute value. AITR means return an SC asynchronous iterator. I don't know what it means in the first place. All means check if all the items which are present in that are true. And next it gets the next item from the assembly list. Okay, it gets the next item other than the item which is provided in the packet. Any means check if any of the things are true. Okay, these are all the built-in functions. Complex for the complex numbers. Filter means filter items. Format. Help means shows help information. So these are all the built-in functions. I think let's run it. What happens? There's nothing to do in the first place, right? There's nothing to do in the first place. That's why we are getting an error. Now let's ask what's a void function. What's a void function? So in void, a void. Okay. What's a void function? A void function is a function that does a task but do not return any value. Okay. So here the problem. No, there's nothing. Yeah. The void function is a function that does the task but does not return any value. So here we made a function, and here we are calling a function. So greet perform an action prints hello. It doesn't return any value. Okay, this is an void function. So here we created a function called a comma b, where return a plus b means result is equals to add 5 comma 3 print result. Okay, so add is a built-in function here, so which adds 5 and 3. Okay, so return result is equal to, so here print result means prints the result of here. So there's nothing new which is happening here. We created a function, but we are not calling a function here. So this is not void because the function is not used here. I'll just show you void function. So here we're getting 8. Instead of this, let's give braces, that's hashes before it. Okay, now the next line, let's do def. No, instead of add 1 comma 3 so here instead of return, let's do print, because print, because return only gives the value but it doesn't print it, right? So let's check what happens. So it gave us the output of 3 plus 1 is equals to 4. So this is not a void function because we use the function which we create. But in the previous case, you can check it here. Okay, it didn't change. Oh my god, I need to change it. Yeah, now the stuff, now the thing is, shit, I'm changing it, I'm removing it, and I'm removing the hashes also. Yes. Changing it to a return. Okay, yeah, I think it's worked fine. Yeah, it's working fine. So I just showed you an example right now. Here we made a function, but we are not using the function anyway. So it's example with return, not void. Think of void function means prints a document but does not give it back to you. Return function creates something and give it back to you. So just think it of that in the same way. What's a fruitful function? So let's ask fruitful function. Fruitful versus void function. me check this something. Okay. So void function returns a value. No, it returns a value, and fruitful function returns the value, and user return usually no and yes. Main purpose performs an action, calculates and gives us the result. So here is an example of a void function where where we create a function and call, and the pre-built thing is only printed here. So function is printed. Function prints a message. It does not give any value back. So here what's a fruitful function look like? See, a diff add a comma b, return a plus b. So return so result is equals to add 5 comma 3, print result. So function calculates 5 plus 3. So add. So we are calling the function here and storing it in a variable. So return is a variable. So we are storing it inside this. So we are calling the function inside a variable and printing the variable. So what happened is the calculation happened inside it. So return is equals to 8. Now we are printing return, so it's printing 8. So this is the simple way. So we get an answer back in a fruitful function, and we do not get an answer. Like, of course, whatever the pre-built thing is, it will be printed. So let's ask this question now. What happens if I store a variable as a void function in a variable? So if you store a void function in a variable, the variable stores none because the function does not return any value. So you see, result is equals to see. Here it's already predefined, print hello. So here what happened is the function is called and it prints directly. If you want it to be a fruitful function, you should give it as a return. Return makes it a fruitful function. So even if you ask it, so here if you are calling the function, it automatically prints it here. So there's nothing to do with it. So result is equals to no, the value is not stored. So print result, there's nothing happens. So nothing is printed out. So this is what happens. So flow of execution. Let's ask a question. What is flow of execution? What is flow of what is flow of execution? So flow of execution is the order in which the Python runs the statements in the program from starting to the finish. So here we created a function print start, and the function is called here, and end is printed. So what happened is the output will be start, hello and end. Yeah, see, the output will be start, hello and print. So it goes like line wise. So first this thing is checked it. First the function is created. Next this command is stored in the function. So the function is created, then it prints start, and the function is called here. So it prints hello here, and this line is executed, so it prints end. So this is the order of execution. Now so what happens if one function called another function? So when one function calls another function, Python pauses the current function, runs the called function, then returns back and continues the original function. So Here a function is created with print step 2 and f1 print step 1 and step 2 print. Okay, so here we made a new function and we are calling a function inside another function. So this is the original function and we are calling this function in this function, and we are asking it to we are calling this function like the second function here. So what happened is it will be printing step 1, it prints step 1, then goes it prints step 2, and then step 3 is printed. Step 1, step 2, step 3 is printed. So it goes line wise. So here we created a function and just forgot about it for now, and here another function is created where we are calling the first function in the second function, and we are calling the second function here. We are calling the second function here. So what happened is the second function will be start executing. So step 1 will be printed and here it stops, and it checks the function which is been called, and here print step 2 is returned. So it prints step 2 and the next line contains print step 3. So it prints step 3. So step 1, step 2, step 3 is printed. So main program step 1, step 2 returns to this step 1 and continues programming. So this is how it works. What is type converter? What is type? What is type conversion? So in one line, type conversion is the process of changing data from one data type to another data type. Like it's like converting an integer into a string and a string and an integer to a float. So here how it works, it's a simple code which they are showing. Age is equals to 20 and it's a string, to be frank, because this is only given to a string. So now age is equals to int age. So here we created an existing container age, and we are asking when we are printing, like we are storing this 20 in it, and it's an int now because it's an integer. So integer, so the string is converted to an integer. Now print age plus 5. So now the 25 no, the 20 plus 5 is executed. What happens? So 20 is a string text and it's converted to an integer, and now integer can be added. So int converting to integer, convert to decimal, converting to string, and boolean means it's a new term now. Boolean means true or false. Converting from true or false. Okay, so x is equals to 10, print string x. So here is the thing which I told you earlier helps in the first video which I gave you, the part 1 video where I asked you to use string, and it's okay if you are using input like without using the string function, it works fine. So here how the string function works. This is a simple representation only. I think it's not mostly not used, but it's good to learn. So what is conversion? Is automatic converts one data type into another by Python when needed. So x is equals to 10, y is equals to 5.5, and result is equals to x plus y. Print result. So here it's an integer and it's a float. Now Python makes this x into like x to 10.0, and it's a float function, so it's 15.5. so here is what it's showing. So integer is converted into float automatically, then float plus float is equals to a floating digit, a floating decimal number, so we get 15.5. so you did not tell Python to convert it, it converted it automatically. Okay. What is implicit IMP, LICIT, and explicit type conversions? So implicit type conversion happens automatically by Python, while execute type conversion is done manually by the program. So this is done this is done automatically. Implicit type conversion. Implicit type conversion means automatically happens. Explicit means where you are giving commands to like where you are using a code to change to change it from string to an integer. So it's an easy difference. Implicit does automatically by the Python, does manually by programmer. No conversion functions used. Uses int, float, string. Example is 10 plus 5, and it's like Implicit means Python decides, and explicit means you decide from which data type you want to be changed it to another data type. So now, what is a math function? What is a math function? So math function are built-in functions of Python math module that helps perform mathematical calculations easily. So import math, name is equals to math dot sqrt means square of 25, print number. Get it, man? I didn't get it. Okay, the output is import math means brings math tools into Python and finding the square root. Yeah, square root of 25 is 5. So square root, these are the common math functions which we'll be using in coding. So math square root means it brings square root. Math dot power means it gives the power means so here math power 2 raised to 3, so 2 to the power of 3 or 2 cube. So math CIL means rounding up. Math dot floor means rounding down, rounding up and rounding down. Okay. Math dot fractional means it gives factorial. It gives factorial means now math dot sign means sign value, math dot cos and math dot pi. Think of it as a calculator where like is required to be stored, actually noted. So give me time, I'll be just writing. So as I told yesterday, import random. It's also a module, and math function is also a module. As we did yesterday to find a random number. So both comes under the category of modules in Python, where we are like calling the modules for the pre-built data in it. It's already it makes the code look easier. No, it makes the coding easy. Math factorial. Math dot sign value. math.cos. This is all trigonometric thing, right? Cos value math.pi. I'll just give you an example when we are executing our codes. So let's move further. What are math functions is done. Now let's ask the question, what is math.e? So math.e is a mathematical constant in Python that represent Euclid's number approximately. Okay, Euclid's number 2.71828. Import math and print it. Okay. So now the question is, what is def keyword means can a function return multiple values? Oh, let's remove this for now. Let's ask first one question. So def is a Python keyword used to create or define a function. This is what I already taught you, right? The def tells the Python I'm creating a function. Create means function name. Parentheses go here and start the function body. Think the def is like a building machine. Def is equals to create the machine. Function name is equals to machine name and code inside what the machine does. I always recommend people to watch my videos in 4x if you are watching in 2x. Yeah. One line answer. Yes, a function can return multiple values in Python by separating them with commas. Python returns them as a tuple. Okay. Def calculate a comma b addition and subtraction. Return a addition comma subtraction. Result is equals to calculate 10 comma 5. Here the function is called for 10 and a is equals to 10 and 5 is b is equals to 5. So it's the answer will be 15 comma 5. Yeah, the output will be 15 comma 5, and this is a tuple. You can also store the values separately. Print some value, print difference. So sum comma difference is equal to, so we are assigning the same thing, but in two different variables. So this can also happen, and give me a minute. I just went to adjust my studio light. I think I'm audible and visible. Yes. Okay. What is variable scope? What is variable scope? So variable scope means the area of a program where a variable is available and can be used. So x is equal to 10 is a global variable. So okay, def shows, and y is equal to 5 is a local variable. It only works inside the function. Outside the function, if you print y outside, it gives you an error. So we are calling the function, it prints x is equals to 10 and it prints 5. Yes, we call the function, so it's printing okay, it prints 10 and 5 and it prints again 10. So I'll show you what happened. So here y is only see, yeah, here y is a local variable. uh, it only works inside the function, it doesn't work outside. So I'll just show you what happens if I print y outside. We'll get an error. So we got an error because y is not defined, it's only defined inside the function. Whenever you call the function, then the y for that 5 is stored inside a container called y. Here uh, it's like a global variable, so wherever you go x is equals to 10. So wherever you are staying, India, if someone says India, it's India, because India is a global variable. And most foreigners don't know states of the state, which state you are living in. So the state is an local variable. For example, I'm just giving you an example or just an overview. The state or the district which you are living in is a local variable, and the global variable is your country. uh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so what are parameters? What are parameters? So parameters are the variables listed inside a function, defines that receives values when the function is called. Greet name. Okay, it's a parameter. So here we gave the value, we gave John, we stored John inside the variable, inside a variable called name. So it prints hello John. So does greet name. Okay, we're printing name. So parameter versus argument. So parameter or variable in the function defined creates when defining the function. Value given during the function, given when the function is called. Okay, I think hope you understand. I get to know, but I was not able to expressing it. But sure, it works. Now the question is types of arguments. So arguments are value passed to a function when called it. Python has a different type of argument based on how values are passed. So values are passed in the same order as parameters. Def a comma b, print a plus b, add 5 comma 3. So we're calling the value. So we are calling the function here, and we're not storing it anywhere. We're just asking it to print. So this is how it works. Keyword arguments means the def name comma age, print a name comma. So here greet. So we are calling the function and gave age is equals to 20. So we are saying that store this 20 in this age and the name in John, because here we changed the order. And we are asking it to print. So it rechanges the it changes the order because here name comma age is written. So it rechanges and it prints it. So order does not matter because you use name. Because we are using names, the order doesn't matter. So I'll just run it and I'll just show you what happens without the order. So I'm removing age, mood, name is removed, So here what happens is 20 J. So name is not 20 and age is not John. So this happened because we haven't gave the order. So we didn't give the variable here. Well, we just show the variable here. So I'll just go back. I'll just comment it out. So I'll just comment it out. Okay, let's go with the next line. So greet, we are calling the function greet. Now let the age be 20 and let the name be Sam. So let's run it. So 20 comma Sam. So because the order is correct, so the order is different. Sorry, I need to change it. So, okay. So here it shows that Sam comma 20 because I was calling it because I gave the things of the name correct order. So name is Sam and age is 20. I'll just remove the comment. So let's run. So John 20 and Sam 20. So here we gave a variable. We are saying that age is equals to 20. That we are forcing the code to store the value of 20 in this age and then John name in this name position. So this is how it works. Default arguments. These are default arguments. So this is a default argument. If you call it normally, it prints guest hello. Here we are giving instead of greet, we are asking it to place John instead of greet. So it prints hello John. So this is how it works. It's simple. Okay, variable length keyword argument. So allows a function to accept many numbers of keyword arguments. So def inputs data, print data. So info name is equal to John, age is equal to 20. So prints name John, age 20. So position gives the given by the order, keyword means given by the name, default means it's a default, and star means many normal values. So it stored everything as a string and it printed it out. Yeah, it stored everything as a string. So position means burger Coke, drink is equals to Coke, and so default no drink, give water, backup choice. So it's funny. What is recursion? Wait a minute, I'll just. Okay. So my back is aching, that's why I bought my sofa here. Okay, what is a recursion? One line answer. Recursion is when a function calls itself to solve a problem by breaking it into small pieces. Means def count n. If n is equal to 0, so if the user given gives the n equal to 0, so print is done and return. Otherwise print n, count down n minus 1. So so if the value of n is more than 0, so it gives us that it says that n, yeah, so if n is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, it prints 0, it prints 0. So 5, so here we are calling the function and giving n is equals to 5. 5 is not equal to equal to 0, it's not equal to 0, so it returns and print n, it prints 5, and count down n minus 1 means it prints 4. So now the counter is 4, it goes back. If 4 is not equal to 0, it returns, and until and unless it if the n is 0, it runs. So that's what I'm saying. This code is need to be returned because it's useful. Def countdown. So the code return is done. So let's ask the next question. So the question is, everyone might be getting, why are we using recursion instead of a loop? So let's ask that. Why are we using recursion instead of a loop? So we are using recursion when a problem is easy to solve by breaking it into simpler, smaller version of itself, while loops are better for simpler repetitions. Okay. So for I in range 5, comma 0, comma minus 1. So I, so print done. Okay. Some problems naturally repeat themselves. Okay. It is just giving you a comparison. If you are comfortable with the loops, you can go with the loops. But in some questions, it is preferable to go with the recursions because it looks good. So now I have multiple. What is anatomy of a recursion function? Base case. So the anatomy of a recursion function of a base case, or not the base case. Let's remove the base case for now because base case need to be a different question. Fluency function. So So the anatomy of a recursion function means the important part that makes the recursion works. Base case reviewer calls the function, okay. Base case run print and function logic countdown n minus 1, okay. Base case if n is equals to equal return. So this is how it works. These are all need to be memorized just for Viva purposes. So now you can understand what does the base case mean. This is the base case, so this is the sole heart of the function, like it's the brain of the function where this checks, otherwise this thing works. So this is what does it what it means. So what is a factorial, recursive factorial function? So now the question is, what is a factorial function, how it works? How does the call stack looks while calculating the factorial? While calculating CTORIL. Okay. So what is a factor? One line answer is a factorial function calculates the product of a number multiplied by all positive numbers below it. So it's like a factorial. It's 5 factorial means 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. It's a 5 factorial. The symbol means factorial. Okay. If n is equal, if n is equal to 1, return 1. Return otherwise. Return n into factorial n minus 1. Result is equals to factorial 5. So this is a code which needed to be noted. Factorial function 5 factorial is equals to 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So def factorial, if n equal to 1, return 1, return n into factorial n minus 1, result is equals to factorial 5, print result. So how factorial 5 works step by step. Factorial 5 into 4. So here n minus 1. So n is 5. So n minus 1 is 4. So n equal to 1. Return 1. So n is not equal to 1. So it goes. So 4 minus 1. We get 3, then 3 is not equal to 1, so it this all steps will be executed. Now 3 is not equal to 1, so 2, then 1 is equal to 1, so it returns 1. Stops. How the call stack looks. Factorial 1, return 1, factorial 2, waiting, top to bottom. Think of it like a stack of plates. The last plate is added is equals to the first plate removed. So returning back, unbinding the stack, So now the function style return 1. So factorial 2 is 2 is equal to 2 into 1. 3 into 2 is equal to 6. 4 into 6 is equal to 24. 5 into 24 is 120. So the factorial. So this is how the word. So calling 5 4 3 2 1, returning 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, I think now it's clear. Hello, hello. So now that thing is completed. Now, what is a fabric? Fabo. I think it's a Fabaconia. Let's. I don't know what it means. Let's check the pronunciation. I think it's a Favicon. Fabi. Let's see. Oh, it's a Fibonacci. Okay, what is Fibonacci? Fibonacci. Fibonacci. What is Fibonacci? So Fibonacci is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. Okay, 0 plus 1 is equals to 1, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, 1 plus 2 is equals to 3. Okay, 3 plus 2. 2 plus 3 is equals to 5. Now 3 plus 5 is equals to 8. Fibonacci uses recursion. So def Fibonacci n, if n is less than or equal to 1, return n. Okay, return Fibonacci n minus 1 plus Fibonacci n minus 2. Okay, if the n is 5, 5 minus 1 is 4, and 4 plus 3. Okay, let's think of it as 5. Okay, if n is equals to 5, sorry, if n is equals to 0, then 0 minus 1 is minus 1 plus minus 3. What the hell is going on? I didn't understand. Okay, if n is equals to 6, so 6 is, so that if statement does not work, so 6 minus 1 is 5 plus 4. Okay, this is how it works. So yes, 5 plus 4. Okay, 5 plus 4, then 4 plus 3, then 3 plus 2, and it goes blah 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 blah. And this Fibonacci is also worth noting, because sometimes we may get questions from it, simple Viva questions, or they may be asking it. Fibonacci means 0 plus 1 is equal to. Let's also remember the sequence. Okay, sometimes we may forget, and I think it's better to note a code def Fibonacci, and if n greater than or equal to 1, return 1, return n, return Fibonacci n-1 plus Fibonacci n-2 print Fibonacci 6. Okay. I think by this we came to an end. Now let's go to our PPT stuff. Okay. So Python, you are doing unit 3, so function and recursions. So function, a simple explanation. A function is a name block of code you can run when you want. Think of a function like a toy that does one job when you press it. So built-in versus user-defined. So built-in functions comes with Python, print, input, len. User-defined functions are one which were created by one with diff. Anatomy function runs or optional return value program continues. Food function returns void returns values, void function does not. Program starts, function calls, function executes, and return controls. So Python example, let's explain every line. Python hello executes print is a built-in function. The print this prints the text hello to the screen. Input asks the user to take something. The type text is saved into a variable named print name and shows what the user typed. So len finds the number of characters we stored in it as a length. So okay. Type conversions, a simple explanation is a conversion changes data from one type to another. Python sometimes changes type automatically. Implicit, sometimes you change, then it's called explicit. Implicit means Python quietly converts the data type when safe into float in math. Explicit means uses int, float, str, string and boolean to convert the values. Why conversion are needed? To mix data correctly, adding it into int or float. So this is an example. So x is an integer and y is a decimal. So Python converts x to decimal, implicit, and adds them. So it's an the next thing is an like it's an explicit function. 820 turns the text into 20 into a number 20. So the next thing is float turns the text into a decimal number. Next, str100 turns the string 100 turns the number into a text. Boolean 1. So boolean 1 becomes true because 1 is truly. So int, float, implicit, explicit, float, str, boolean, explicit, int. Try to add string and number without converting. Oh, it's an error. Math functions. The math module helps for math tasks like square, root, bar, rounding, fractional, and constants like pi or Euclid. The math.sqrt returns the square root of x. Math.power a comma b returns the a to the power of b as float. Math.ciel means round x up to the nearest integer. Math.flow run x down to the nearest integer. Math.function n returns n from non-negative integer. Math.py mathematically constant. Import math makes the math module available. Each line calls a function or reads constant from math. So let's write the code of a math function. So import math. So it depends on what you're calling. We are printing it. It doesn't need much explanation. So creating a function, use def to make a function. The function name is how you call it. Return sends a value back to the code, then calls the function. Def keyword, while def name to start a function, intent to the code inside the function. Return means use return to give back a value. If not, return the function returns none. So here there's a simple function. Def greet defines a function named greet. Print runs when we call greet below. So it's another simple function. Square takes a number, multiplies it by itself and returns. The result prints shows the return value. Forgetting to call the function after defining it. Okay. Parameters and arguments. Parameters are the names in the function. Definition. Arguments are the actual values to pass in when calling the function. So positional arguments. Passing order. Create a John matches the first parameter. Keyword argument means user name info. Age is equals to 20 and name is equals to Alex. So order does not matter. So default parameter gives a parameter a default value, so it cannot be skipped. This star collects an external position argument into a tuple named number. So here is a simple function. Name is a parameter, so John is an argument. So we use a keyword, so order we do not. So order does not matter. And for this code, add uses default value a is equals to 5, b is question where no argument is given or passed, and this code number gather all the external positional arguments into a tuple. Use org and forgetting to unpack when needed. Variable scope. Scope decides when a variable can be used. Global variable is like living outside the function. Local variable is living inside the function. Local variable cannot be used outside. Local variable creating inside a function, they disappear when the function finish. Global variable creates an outside created outside any function. Any function can read them, but be careful before changing them. X is equals to 100. Okay, X is a global, so text can print it, and Y is a local variable and cannot be printed outside the test. Attempting to print Y outside would cause an error. I already showed you before. So this is how it works. Recursion. Recursion is when a function is called itself. Use recursion to solve problems. That recursion is a small version of themselves. Base case, the rule that stops the recursion must exist. Recursive case, the part when the function calls itself with a small input, called stack. Each call waits until the next call finish. Stack shows active call. So countdown calls itself with n minus 1 until n is 0. The base case is n equal to 0 with n equal to 0, which prints the done and stops the function. Countdown 3, countdown 2, countdown 1 and countdown 0. Factorial and Fibonacci. We use recursion functions and Fibonacci because they are defined. Fibonacci function factorial. So factorial is 5 into factorial 4 until factorial is 1. So Fibonacci is x is equal to 0. Fibonacci 1 is equal to 1 are the basic cases. For n is greater than 1, we add two small Fibonacci numbers. So summary, Function is a block of code which they name use it to create them. The function called run a function by using its name and parentheses. Return send a value before to back to the caller. Parentheses and argument. Parentheses and are names. Arguments are values you pass in. Scope local variables stay inside function. Global or outside. Math module use input math for helpful functions like square root and pi. Recursion function called itself need base. What keyword creates a function def? What is the difference between a parameter and an argument? Okay, let's do the coding question. Write a function area, then return with base into height. Okay, let's do this. Let's exit. Close this. You can download an online compiler. You can download a compiler on VS Code, or you can use an online compiler like me, Python online compiler. Python online compiler. Yes. Oh, I already entered. Okay, let's close everything. Now let's check. Write a function area rectangle. Okay, this is the function base width comma height, then return with. Okay, now we are creating a function def area rect. I'm a little bit lazy. Th width comma height, return th width into height. Now we are calling function x is equals to area rectangle print x. Let's first of all let's give some random numbers, and we'll try to optimize the code afterwards. So it gave us the number called 50 because we asked it to multiply 10 into 5 is 50. Now let's make sure we will change it width comma height. Now let's take input from the user. W is equals to int input, so it might be a decimal also, so float input, enter width in centimeters, height is equals to float input, enter height in centimeters, run. So let's give 32 centimeters and height is of 8, so it's 256.0. now let's give 14, let's give 2, let's give 2, 4.3, 4.6. So here it automatically converted that bit 2 into a float thing, and it multiplied now 2.0 into 2.3. So it multiplied, we got the answer of 4.6. So this thing is completed. Create a function is even n that returns true if n is even, else false. So we need to create a function. Okay, let's create a function. Def what the function name is even, is even it's n. Let's give the input as n. If n modulus 2 is equal to 0, return okay. Let's print no return. Print n is even, else print n is odd. So now we'll be calling the function. So is even, let's give a number called 3. Let's check what happens. So 3 is odd, so we'll make sure it looks good. So let's give n is equals to int input, enter the number you want to check. To be frank, you can use this also. You can use these functions, or you can use conditional statements also for this. So let's give 1 2 3 4 5. So it's an odd number. So this question is also completed. Build a calculator function calculating a, b, o, p that does plus minus into or based on OP. So they're asking us to based on OP. Okay, I get it. Okay, let's build def cl just for fun. Okay, what are the input values? A, B, OP. Okay, you can take inputs A, B, OP. Calculator function that does plus minus into or based on OP. it is based on OP. Okay, so if OP equals to plus print plus B. Okay, elif. So we are using conditional statements inside the function just to make it. So elif OP equal to minus print A minus B, elif OP equal to into print A into B, elif OP equal to divided by print A by B, else print valid OP. Now we'll be taking input. OP is equals to input enter plus minus multiplication or division. Next, A is equals to input enter the number B is equals to input enter the number let's call the function cal A comma B comma OP. Let's not let's give this enter the number 45 by 3 is 10.5. so this thing is working. Let's give plus so it's working. So that code is also completed. Write a recursive function like earlier and test it with 6. We gave a recursive function. Let's check whether it's a recursive function or not. Is it or is it yes, this is a recursive function. So involuntarily or involuntarily we did a recursive function. So the fourth code is also done. Print the first 10 Fibonacci numbers using recursive function. Try memorizing it slow. Fibonacci. Okay, let's do this. Def it's Fibonacci. Yeah, it's Fibonacci. And if n is greater than or equal to 1, return n. Return Fibonacci n minus 1 plus Fibonacci n minus 2. Let's call the function now. Let's call the function Fibonacci n. So before that we need to take an input from the user. N equal to input, enter the number you want to find. Fibonacci. Okay, let's run. Let's give 10. Oh, we didn't give print Fibonacci, right? Print. It's better to give it here. Print. Okay, let's run. 10. So 55. So it's done. The Fibonacci of 10. Let's check what's the output. What is the Fibonacci of 10? It's 55 and we got the output of 55. So it's working. Now let's go to the last code. The session has not ended yet. There are still some questions left. Let me open it. So these are the questions which we are going to do. So write a function for circle. So function def circle CLE properties. I'm a bit lazy, so let's give radius r and write a function that returns the area. So the area will be, let's import math function also. Let's use math function. Import math. Yeah, import math. Is it correct? How to import math function? How to import math function? is the import math. Okay, we are going in the right track. See, import math. So let's give print. um, let's give pi is equals to math dot pi math.py. So it's asking for radius, so we need to take two inputs into 2 by r. Sorry, one it's 2 by r, 2 into pi into r. Let's take input from the user for r. R is equals to int, sorry, it may be a floating type, also float input, enter the radius. Yes, radius. Next, let's call the function now. So let's call CISLE Oiago R. So we call the function. Now let's run. Let's give the radius equals to 5. What's wrong? Let's give the radius 5. Let's check what's wrong with the code. I'm not getting anything wrong. Why? Let's check. So we did the same thing, right? Pi, yeah, it's correct. 2 pi r, the 2 pi r is also correct. Why is it wrong when everything is correct? Let's remove this and check once. 5. Oh, it's working. Oh, okay. That means it's working. So let's make some changes. CIRCUMFERENC circumference. Print area. It's pi r square. Run. Let the radius be 5. So yeah, we are close. Let's run that second test case. It worked. Let's run the third test case of 2.5. Oh, it's an int. Now let's change it into float. Okay, let's run 2.5. Yeah, it's working. So let's go to the temperature conversion. So let's write a function f con temp t. Value and the value comma scale. So let's give v comma s. V for value and s comma for scale. If s equal to f, print so let's ask the formula for Fahrenheit to Celsius conversion. Formula to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Let's write it. Fahrenheit to Celsius, we have to. So F2C. So C is equals to F minus 32 into 5 by 9. Now Celsius to Fahrenheit. Now Celsius to Fahrenheit. So F is equals to C into 1.8 plus 32. Okay. Okay, let's do the code now. So print. So we want the scale in Fahrenheit. So let's print. So F is equals to value into 1.8. Let's give it a whole bracket plus 32. Print is done. Elif s equal to C equal to F minus 32 into 5 by 9. Print it's not F. Let's remove F to V. Okay, values given. Now we need to take input from the user for V and S. So V is equals to temperature might be float input enter the temp next is equals to input enter F or F. Let's right this. Let's go. Now let's call the function now temp V comma S. Oh, we didn't use return, right? So we need to print it. So let's run. Enter the temperature. So here the test case. Expected input is 100, and it's for C. 100 F. So there are some changes which we need to make. F and C. Okay, let's do run. Let's check the other test case 0 and C. So we got 32. Let's check the another test case 2 and 2. F. Sorry, we need to 2 1 2, right? 2 1 2 F. So we got 100 degrees Celsius. Let's go 37 and C. So we got 98.6. So the second question is done. So now write a function calculating a b operation that performs plus minus into dividend of modulus or to the power of using the operation. Okay, now let's define CAL. Let's make a function called CAL. Let's take 3 inputs called A, comma B, comma O, B, R, T, R, O, N. Operation. Let's cut it. Let's paste it for further use. Now let's create the function. If operation equal to plus print A plus B elif operation equal to minus print A minus B elif operation equal to multiplication. So print A into B elif operation equal to modulation print A by B elif operation equal to modulus print A modulus B elif operation equal to star star power of print a star shall be else print invalid operation. So now we need to take A, B and O operation as input. So A is equals to int O, it might be our float, right? Float input, enter the number, so B is equals to float input, enter the number, now operation is equals to input, enter the operation. So let's call the function cal a comma b comma operation. Okay, let's run. Enter the number. What's okay? 10, 5 and multiplication. So we got the answer. Now 8, 2, so we got 4. Okay, that's running. 5, 2 and modulus. So 1 working, 4 to the power of. So it's working. Yeah. So third code is completed. Now fourth code, write a function num1 return whether number is positive or negative, or whether number is positive or negative, even or odd, and divisible by 3 and 5. So we need to make a function called num-info. Sorry, we need to give def num-info for a digit. So let's give n, take n. So we need to use if and else. So if number is greater than or equal to 0, print positive. Positive now let's use nested if. So if n modulus 2 equal to 0, print even elif n elif n modulus 2 is not equal to 0, For fun I'm using it. I'll just show you two processes in the same thing, in the same for the same test case. Or next, elif n modulus 3, n modulus 3 is equal to 0, and we are using logical operators. N modulus 5 is equal to 0, so you know that n works only if the both conditions are true. So if the both conditions are true, then and we get true. So 1 is equals to 1. If we are from EC, we would have found print divisible divisible elif n modulus 3 not equal to 0 and n mod it is not equal, you can give 1 and n modulus 5 equal to 1. Print nothing. Only if it's divisible we will be showing it's divisible by seeing the test case. I can know. Now let's copy all this. elif print negative negative negative. Let's copy the same code here. Else return for break. You can use break also. We are taking break. Oh, this is not C, right? I think hope it works. So now we'll be taking n as input. N is equals to int input enter to know the info of the number. So let's call the function now. And that's it. Let's run. Oh, let's give 30. So it's positive and even. It's divisible by 3 and 5. Yeah, it's divisible by 3 and 5. Then why it's not working? Why is it not printing rest? I think the code is correct. Then why is it not printing? Okay, I think we messed up. Let's check what happens if we remove the spaces. I think this will work now. I thought of doing it in a separate way, but it's not working. No, it's not possible. Let's do 9 positive odd. So give past one test case. So -8 negative and even it's working. Let's give 15. So it's only giving positive and odd is not going to visible. I'm not getting what will or else. Let's completely change the code. I think we are having some problem in this code. Most probably yes. So let's restart it from scratch. Okay, let's remove this. So if n is greater than or equal to 0, print positive. Okay, SITIV positive. Elif, sorry, let's remove equal to. Okay, elif n greater less than or equal less than 0, print sorry, negative else print 0. let's go for if. Let's start another if. Now this will be checking n. If n modulus 2 equal to 0, print even. Else, so elif n modulus the 2 is equal to 1, print odd. Okay, else print invalid, but we will be not I think we will be not getting that case, invalid case, to be frank, because every time we will be giving number as input, so most probably we'll get odd or even. So for just for the namesake, id invalid. Now let's again use if n modulus 3 and n modulus 5 equal to 0, print divisible. Elif n modulus 3 equal to 1 and n modulus 5 equal to 1, print empty. Okay, let's check if it works. So let's give a number called 30, so positive even. Let's give 15. Let's check 15 divided by 3 gives you 5. 15 get remainder 0. Or we will give else case, right? Get it. Else print invalid. Thank you. Let's run. Oh, it's not in function, to be frank, right? Stop. It should come after. Okay, run. Number is 30. Invalid. Why it's invalid? Run 9. Invalid. Why is it not going to invalid? Okay, finally we did it. Now it's working. Run 30. So it's divisible, it's working. Now let's go and 9. Why is 9 divisible? 1 odd. Either of the cases, right? So we need to use or. No. Either. So both should be true. So n modulus 3. 9. Why is it divisible? I think we messed it here. Run 9 invalid. Okay. Minus 8. Okay, it's working. Let's give 9 invalid. Okay, done. Minus 8. Okay. 15. So divisible. So it's working. This code is working. So let's go to the fifth question. Find the largest divisible a comma b comma c that returns the difference between the largest and the smallest value. Largest and smallest value. Okay. We'll be using a math function for it. Yeah, we'll be using math function for it. So let's start the fifth question. You can use maths and in math function there is no that kind of thing. So def ld a comma b comma c L equal to max a comma b comma c, small is equals to minimum a comma b comma c, and return L plus B. That's it. So now we'll be taking the inputs from the user. Oh sorry, it's not positive, right? It's the difference between the largest and the smallest, right? Yeah, the smallest. So let's take input from the user. A is equals to input let's copy this. B equal to C equal to okay. Now let's call the function L or B a comma b comma c. Let's give it for variable print x. So here the test case is 12, 35 and 20. 12, 35, 20, it's start 23. So it's working. So let's give 5, 2 and 8. So 6 is working. 10, 10 and 5. It's working. Next minus 2. Let's run. Minus 2, 6 and 1. Yeah, it's working. So the fifth question is done. Let's calculate, write a function to calculate base and height. Okay, the area of the triangle. So def a of t ad. We need to take base and height from the user. So let's run. If base or height is greater than or equal to 0, base or height, invalid input. Okay. If b greater than or equal to 0, or we are using a logical operator called or, because any of it is false, we get false. Or height is greater than or equal to 0, print invalid, else print base into height, right? Yeah, base into height. Area is base into height. Now let's take inputs from the user of base is equals to enter base here. Height is equals to HIGHT height. So let's enter the base. Okay, they are giving float values, so let's stop it. Let's convert it into float. So enter the base here. So the base is 8 and 6. Oh, we didn't call the function yet, right? Area of the triangle b comma h. Run. So let's take just the same thing, a 8 and 6. So what? Base into height. So it's half base into height. Sorry. It's half base into height. Or half is 0.5, right? So let's multiply 0.5. I think this will work. Yeah. 8, 6. Yeah, it's working. Let's do it for the next test case. 10 and 5, 25. It's working. So minus 2 and 4, invalid. So it's working. 9 and 2, so it's working. So now let's do the eighth question. So write a function discount customer type is equals to retailer. Okay, let's def discount price customer so customer type city, that's it. So if city equal to R means for regular, rent 5%, right? So x is equals to p into 5 by 100 minus t. So p minus this stuff. Why don't you print so that's done. Elif ct is equals to s print to copy this. Okay, every time copy equal to 10. Elif ct equal to g gold print else invalid. So let's take inputs from the user. So p is equals to input. Okay, ct is equals to input. That's it. So let's call the function discount. So let's run it. Let's run. Okay. Let's give the input of 1000 and they are regular, so 950 rupees. Let's go 1000 silver 900 rupees, 2500 gold. Okay, it needs to be gold. It's 20%. So run. So let's check all the test cases again. 1000 and it's regular. Okay, 1900. Okay, now it's 2500 gold. Okay, so every test case has been passed. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you understand everything. Hope you get everything. I'll just tag these questions inside the description. Make sure you check it out.